and welcome to Learn and Level Up English Podcast. I'm Lori, your friendly guide to learning English step by step. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wanted to tell someone about your weekly schedule? Maybe you wanted to explain what you do every Monday or share your weekend plans, but you weren't sure how to say it in English. Well, you're in the right place. Imagine this. You meet a new friend and they ask, "What's your week like?" Wouldn't it feel great to confidently answer in English? By the end of this episode, you'll be able to do just that. In today's lesson, we'll learn the key words and phrases you need to describe your weekly routine. Practice using those phrases in simple and clear sentences. Hear a fun and relatable story to inspire your own description. So, whether you're commuting, relaxing at home, or on a break, stay tuned and let's make English a fun part of your daily routine. Ready? Let's dive in. Before we can talk about our weekly routines, we need to build a strong foundation with some key vocabulary. Let's make it fun and interactive. Imagine your week as a story you're about to tell. Every word we learn is like a piece of the puzzle that brings your story to life. Let's start with frequency words. These are words that tell us how often something happens. Picture them as your time markers. Always. This means 100% of the time. For example, I always wake up at 7 a.m. Can you think of something you always do? Usually, most of the time. Like, I usually have tea in the morning. What about you? What do you usually do? Sometimes, not every time, just occasionally. For example, I sometimes go for a walk after dinner. Never, 0% of the time. For example, I never skip breakfast. Now, let's move on to some common activities you might include in your weekly routine. Think about how these fit into your day. Work. I work from Monday to Friday. Study. I study English every evening. Exercise. I exercise 3 times a week. Relax. I relax on weekends. Here's a tip. When talking about these activities, try to combine them with a time expression. For example, in the morning, I go for a run. At night, I watch TV with my family. Speaking of time expressions, let's break them down. In the morning, before noon, when you're starting your day. In the afternoon, between lunch and dinner. At night, after the sun sets. Let's put it all together. Imagine your day. What do you always do in the morning? What do you sometimes do at night? Picture it in your mind as I ask you these questions. Do you always have breakfast in the morning? What do you usually do in the afternoon? How do you relax at night? Keep those answers in your head, or better yet, say them out loud. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel. Now that we have the vocabulary, let's talk about how to organize your weekly routine. Start with these steps. First, introduce your routine. Begin by saying when your week starts. For example, my week starts on Monday and I usually work from Monday to Friday. On weekdays, I'm busy with work and studying. Second, describe each part of your day. Break your day into morning, afternoon, and evening. For example, in the morning, I wake up at 7 a.m. and have breakfast. In the afternoon, I work on projects or study. In the evening, I relax by watching TV or reading. Third, mention special activities. Don't forget to include unique parts of your routine. For example, on Fridays, I go out with friends. Every Saturday, I clean my house. Fourth, talk about the weekend. Weekends are usually more relaxed. For example, on weekends, I like to sleep in and spend time with my family. Let's try it together. Think about your own weekly routine and try describing it using these steps. Now that we've learned the vocabulary and how to structure your weekly routine, let's bring everything to life with a fun story. Listen closely to Anna's weekly routine and think about how it compares to your own. You might even hear some ideas for your own sentences. Here we go. Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm going to tell you about my weekly routine. My week starts on Monday, just like most people. I always wake up at 6:30 a.m. It's early, I know. The first thing I do is make a cup of tea. I can't start my day without it. Then I get dressed and head to work. I work from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a busy schedule, but I usually take a short walk during my lunch break to relax. After work, I try to stay active. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I go to the gym. It's hard sometimes, but I feel so good afterward. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I cook dinner at home and watch a new episode of my favorite TV series. The weekends are my favorite part of the week. On Saturday mornings, I like to sleep in a little longer. No alarm clocks. After breakfast, I clean my apartment and run errands like grocery shopping. In the afternoon, I often meet up with friends for coffee. It's the perfect way to catch up and relax. Sundays are my rest days. I spend most of the day at home. I like to read books, listen to music, and sometimes do a bit of yoga. Sunday evenings are cozy. I prepare for the week ahead and write down my goals. And that's my weekly routine. What about you? What do you do each day? So, what did you think of Anna's story? Could you relate to any part of her routine? Maybe her gym habit inspired you, or perhaps her relaxing Sundays reminded you of your own. Let's break down her story. Notice how Anna used time expressions like in the morning, on weekends, and after work to make her routine clear. She also used frequency words like always, usually, and often to describe how often she does activities. Now it's your turn. Think about your weekly routine. How is it similar to Anna's? How is it different? Try writing or saying your own story just like she did. Remember, keep it simple and have fun with it. Now it's your turn to shine. This is where you take everything you've learned today and put it into action. Don't worry, I'll guide you every step of the way. Let's make this practice fun, simple, and interactive. First, let's start by thinking about your typical day. Picture it in your mind. What's the first thing you do in the morning? Maybe you wake up, brush your teeth, or have breakfast. How about this? Repeat after me. I wake up at 7 a.m. I always eat breakfast in the morning. Great job. Now let's talk about your afternoons. What do you usually do after lunch? Maybe you go to work, study, or take a break. Try saying this. In the afternoon, I usually go for a walk. How about evenings? Evenings are a great time to relax. What do you do? Here's an example. At night, I watch my favorite TV show. Now let's put it all together. I'll give you a template. You can fill in the blanks with your own words. In the morning, I always. In the afternoon, I usually. Take a moment to say it out loud. Go ahead, don't be shy. Fantastic. But we're not stopping there. Let's level up and talk about your weekly routine. Here's a question. What do you do on specific days? For example, on Mondays, I go to the gym. On Fridays, I meet my friends. Now it's your turn. Say what you do on 1 or 2 days of the week. Amazing work! See how easy it is to describe your routine? The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Don't worry about being perfect. Just keep speaking and you'll improve every day. Here's a challenge for you. After this episode, write down your entire weekly routine. Use all the words and phrases we've learned today. Then, practice saying it out loud. You can even record yourself and listen back. It's a great way to track your progress. You're doing such a great job, and I'm so proud of you. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be describing your routine like a pro. Let's keep learning together. Fantastic job today! You've learned how to describe your weekly routine in English, heard some useful vocabulary, and even practiced speaking. Here's your homework. Write down your weekly routine in a few sentences. Practice saying it out loud, and share it with a friend or teacher. Next time, we'll talk about how to plan your week like a pro. Easy English phrases. Don't miss it. Thank you for listening to Learn and Level Up English Podcast. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.